all of this is here to teach us something. That's what it's all about. That's what life is all about anyway. What are you learning? Everything that happens to you, you created to learn from it. So you hear about these things on TV, the murders and the violence going on. How does it affect you? What do you learn from that? That's the lesson of these other entities, to teach us something.
And the thing is that in them doing what we abhor, we learn how to not do it. So we naturally move ourselves out of that zone, out of that frequency.
Yeah, they've told me that before, and it was in my book, Between Death and Life, that if you didn't have these as examples, you wouldn't know what not to do from a moral standpoint.
That's right. And it's important to observe what is considered to be wrong, because there are definitely universal laws being worked with here, and we are shown every day what not to do so that we can avoid it and take a faster track to increasing our frequency and ascend in the process.
Because everybody has bad things that happen in their life, but they have put them there. Before you come into the life, you make your plan, and you make the plan of the events in your life that are going to help you grow. And I have so many clients that have had horrible childhoods and horrible lives, but I always ask them, what did you learn from it? That was the purpose. That's why they put those events in their life, to learn from. And some of them will say, well, I didn't learn anything. It was just a bad experience. Then guess what? According to the law of karma, the law of what we're here for, you have to repeat that class until you learn that lesson. So I tell them, if you learned even one thing from the circumstance, that was the reason for you creating it. Look how powerful your minds are.
I found out that's something called cyclic karma, where if you don't learn the first time, it gets harder the second time, and then it gets harder the third time.
And you're brought back with the same people, same circumstance. You don't get out of anything. Same people, some same circumstances. You just have to repeat it over, and it's always harder the next time. Just like a class in school. So some people will tell me, well, I don't want to have anything to do with that person anymore. I don't want them in my life anymore. I certainly don't want to have to do it again. And I said, you better work it out now. That's the law of karma. See, we've been taking baby steps so far in my books and in the conferences, and now it gets us getting to where we're beginning to be ready for the hard stuff. We're progressing into college, maybe.
Absolutely. And I just want to very quickly pick up on something that Dolores said about creation and what we're creating here. One of the things I've picked up recently is that we're all part of creating the multiverse, not just this locale here, but we're all creating the multiverse. So think about that when you're starting to create something small, but actually you're part of something much bigger.
Julia, you want to come up? Where's she at? She said she was right here. Okay. Come on up, Julia. I like to have her up when we go to questions. But I was getting more information about it, and they've kept saying it's holographic. But I think now our minds are ready for this kind of information, and we can understand it, because you're great and powerful beings. You're not at the mercy of the world. I hate it when I get clients coming in that are in the victim mode. Oh, you don't know what happened to me. This is a horrible life, etc., etc. You listen to this for about an hour, then I tell them, oh, for Pete's sakes, get out of the victim mode. Because everything that happened, you created it for yourself. You want to stand up here or what? Okay.
I think the lady should sit.
Do you like to sit?
I'll stand up and Julia can sit down.
Well, no, that's okay. She does. You want another chair?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I like Julia up here when we go into questions. She can put it on the other side of you too. Because with all of my work, all of these years, come on, all of my years of doing this work, I would come home and I'd say, guess what I found out today? And I bounced everything off of her. Because we have long discussions on some of these things. And then when I think I've got to figure it out, goes in a book, then they give me another one. That's what I said. I could not have understood what I'm getting now when I started out. I would just say, I have nothing to do with this, and I wouldn't have written any books. Okay, we want to go. You have any questions about this concept of the backdrop people, and then we'll go into questions on any of my work.
Farron, how do you want a traveling mic? Okay. Otherwise, I'll
have
repeat
another
the
mic?
questions, and we're going to travel this mic. So,
Okay, you want to bring it up? Because I want to see if maybe you can trigger some more things that'll help me know what to explore, to get more information on the backdrop people.
run, Holly, run.
Do you think this is a mind bender? Is it a mind bender? Okay.
Where do you want me to go first? They all jumped up just where we feel led. So, this one's
Okay, we've got different ones.
Hello.
We're ready for it or it wouldn't have been brought up. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I just almost finished reading your Convoluted Four. They're wonderful. And yes, one can see the progression, not only yours, but of the information. It's incredible. About the backdrop people, and this is what I read, or the back film people, I thought she answered, your subject answered, we are energy. Couldn't it be that not that they're not dense energy, but they're just energy beings that come, be on a holographic journey or something, be there for a minute and go back to energy? Couldn't that be it?
That's what they said. That's
Because
like I said.
that's the way I understood
It
it. Not that they're
dissipates. I
dense.
think it would dissipate.
It just goes
like it does
back.
on the holodeck.
Yeah, and then the next thing would be, okay, planet XC5, now go work over there, like traveling energy or energy that is needed or that appears where it's needed. This is my understanding of that, and I found it very
Because,
interesting.
these people, you never see them again.
No.
They are just there to fill up your need to have people in your world.
I'd like to elaborate on that slightly because actually they don't travel anywhere. Everything is everywhere, all of the time.
Oh, well, figuratively.
So all that's happening is the intention to coalesce in one particular location is what happens, and then they're there. And then they...
Because of your
Yeah.
mind wanting them to be there.
And then the intention changes to be over there for some reason, and then they're over there. So it's not a case of them moving around, it's the energy just changing or morphing into something that it needs to be at one particular time.
Well, then let me finish. I wasn't going to ask her. But wouldn't it be, since we're sparks, we're not the whole, higher self in a body. We're just a tiny, tiny fragment. Okay. So all the orchestration of each one of our lives here, don't they take part also? My oversoul, my higher soul? So actually, they're all taking part in bringing the backdrop people into our life because
No, you are doing it yourself.
we're doing it, but don't I have the help of?
Oh shit.